All right, hi everyone, and hope you enjoyed the first week of Euro 2020, which has been no short of extraordinary. Not only there were plenty of big fat upsets, and then the Christian Eriksen's on-field cardiac arrest, which pretty much stole the show, and everybody who was watching and everybody who was a football fan in the entire world was waiting with bated breath for good news. And the good thing is the good news did come. Eriksen coming back to life and feeling all right. I really hope right now that he comes back to the field stronger as well, and that is something everybody's looking forward to in the next season. All right, as Eriksen cheers on his Denmark team, let's quickly look at round one and some of round two results, which have been quite exciting, and look at the 8 teams that me and mainly I'm going to blame Paul the Octopus had picked to not to make the knockout stages, which is a lot of them are actually seem to be making to the knockout stages, which has become interesting. Let's look at Group A. And Group A is one team which already has the first team which has already qualified. Italy has officially qualified, but for all intensive purposes, I feel Wales have also qualified. You'll not miss out after 4 points. Their goal difference is pretty good. It just looks good for them. And Switzerland, and suddenly everybody's talking about Ciro Immobile, and suddenly everybody's talking about how Italy is now not the dark horse anymore. They are the hot favorites. And Switzerland and Turkey, we really had high hopes from them, but really did not happen for them. But still, one team can still qualify from the other two, but looks like Wales and Italy are definitely through. Do you have any, what is your opinion, Paul?
Yeah, I think I started off by saying I had high hopes from Turkey. They were my dark horses, to be very honest. I mean, not to win all the way, but I thought they'll finish second. But I mean, oh my God, they were completely hopeless. They've become roast Turkey. Everyone seems to be scoring bags of goals against them. So yeah, I mean, so I think Wales, because of their goal difference, I think they might end up being second. And you know, I think going by the last 2 matches, I don't see any chance of Turkey, winning against Switzerland, and hence Switzerland would be third by default.
But see, the thing is here, even if Turkey does win, because their goal difference is so poor, I think they're -5, right? So they cannot qualify even if they get 3 points. So Turkey should do a favor to Switzerland, I don't know, crack a deal or whatever. So if Switzerland does win, they get 4. This will be the third team to qualify. It'll be very nice. But I think as we spoke about in the first podcast on this one as well, that Switzerland traditionally has been a very one of those teams which are very dour, will not let you score. And we said that we haven't seen that recently over the few years. And that is up for show that Switzerland didn't seem to be a team which will just concede once and somehow score a goal and just win a match, or just be very dour 1-1. Because against Wales also, they pretty much dominated. I mean, as much as they could dominate, and then Wales still snatched a point against them.
Yeah, I think, I would like to say that, I kind of predicted Switzerland not doing too well because, I mean, although you're right, I mean, they're dogged, they might sneak an odd goal here or there, but it just, I mean, the squad didn't give me any confidence. I mean, I somehow am not a big fan of Xhaka and Shaqiri. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Well, Shakira is not Shakira, right? I was just thinking it was more Shakira. All right, but as we before I move on to, I'll just have one last word that Switzerland still has a good chance because Turkey is not looking good, and Turkey is supposed to be really good. They beat France. They were amazing in the qualifiers. They've been doing very well, but sometimes these things happen, and Switzerland would think they still have a very good chance of beating Turkey and qualifying to the round second knockout stages. All right, let's look at the Group B. Belgium had a routine victory, and as we've talked about, the Belgium's character will not be tested because the reason they're number one is because they win all the matches they're supposed to win, but it's when the crunch happens, that's when they get tested, the metal gets tested. So I don't think there'll be any problem in the group stages. And then we all expected, because Finland is number 54, they should not qualify. So but then extraordinary circumstances happened, and although what happened with Eriksen was not an unprecedented event, but it was incredibly distressing and numbing for some people. And normally we're so used to seeing a collision or a bad tackle, and but Eriksen's cardiac arrest came out of absolutely nowhere. I would want a comment from you on that before And then I just want to talk about a little bit that because Finland already played now the second game as well, and they, if you're watching the match or if you're aware of it, that they had scored like in the very opening few minutes, but it was ruled out. It was a brilliant goal, ruled out for offside, marginal offside, by like his hair or something. And then eventually Russia, who I said I have soft spot for them, they somehow came back, snatched the victory. All credit to them. And Denmark and Belgium are still to play. So. Denmark, right now, it will be very difficult for Denmark to beat Belgium, but if they can snatch a point and then they can win the last match against Russia, that'll be a huge deal for Denmark after what pretty much every Danish player, every Danish citizen went through after that Eriksen's episode. So yeah, just a little word on that from you.
Lots of points to talk about in Group B, but I think, of course, no one can forget what happened. Those painful scenes. I mean, this was really like gut-wrenching, but the way players, the teammates conducted, I think it was exemplary. I hope and wish we are able to see Eriksen back on the field soon. But yeah, I mean, it was surreal. I mean, I couldn't believe my eyes what I was seeing, and thoughts and prayers with him and his family. But yeah, I mean, coming back, I think that game, I mean, there were question marks whether the game should have been, allowed to continue and they should have played or not played. But anyways, eventually they had to complete the game, whether that day or some other day. But yeah, I mean, this has completely opened up the group, by the way. It could happen that all 3 points, I mean, apart from Belgium, all 3 teams end up at 3 points and it comes to goal difference. I mean, I think that's more likely. I mean, from what I would guess is it's difficult for Denmark to snatch a point against Belgium. And talking about Belgium, I think you rightly said, right, when crunch time comes, will they deliver, right, in the big matches? That is epitomized by none other than Lukaku. People always criticized that he's like a small team bully. He never performed in big matches against big teams. And that's true for him, for Belgium as well. I don't know whether, how he will perform against the bigger teams. And that doubt remains with Belgium. But anyways, coming back to the group, I think Belgium undoubtedly will finish top, probably will win all the matches. Because of Finland's surprise win, it's anyone's game for, second and third spot. It might come down to the goal difference.
All right. So just one comment on that. So Lukaku, the monkey on his back, has been there forever, but with the season that he's had in Italy, right now he cannot be just judged from something he's done in the past, which is not completely unjustified or unwarranted. Yes, he did not perform against big teams, and he always scored against minnows, and he was because of his bully and physicality. But we would both be a little bit amiss if we said that is still the case. And I think I think the amount of confidence that he has right now, I won't be surprised if he does perform in a big game. Sometimes you don't score, but sometimes you just perform as a team, like what France does. And if he can do that, I think that'd be wonderful. And right now, it's at the best stage of his career to actually get that monkey off his back.
He's at the peak of his career. I think he's playing the best I've ever seen him play. So yeah, I mean, let's hope that monkey is off his back.
All right. So it's a metaphorical monkey. The monkey does not sit. There's a lot of people who take it very literally.
We are not racist.
English is a second language, and we are not racist. And that what is that guy Arnautovic who got banned for one? This Euro has been very interesting. I'll come back to that Arnautovic guy, because now when you're racist, normally then you're racist, but in this one you're like you're nationalist. And then Rudiger bites. It's like, oh, it's fine. We don't even give you a yellow card. You're not Suarez, and Suarez bites. We give you 8 months, and we'll come back to that. And just one last comment on Eriksen's situation, that I have no view on match starting that time, next day, 2 days later, because as you said, it had to start. So I've heard a lot of ESPN and all the pundits saying maybe this is that, this is that, this is that. I'm saying, like, you know what? Sometimes there's no right or wrong. You have to do it. Either you take it from a dharma point of view, from Bhagavad Gita, or you just say it. You just have to do it. And I personally would have just played right then, because after Eriksen had called them, because tomorrow I don't think it gets better. You're in the zone, you just get it over and done with. That's what I would do. But again, there's no right or wrong to it, but they had to play. You can't just not play, right? Even in Copa America, they're playing. I think in Venezuela they have like 13 people in the whole, not the whole contagion, that they are coronavirus, but they still continue. Right? So you have to do your job. And I really hope this guy comes back. And one more comment, I think I'm just going on it, but there've been, after the last entire year, there's been a lot of coronavirus, and people have been saying, I've got a wake up call. I think we have got like 1,600 wake up calls since March last year. So I think people should wake up. See, like we don't even know. I could drop dead in the middle of the podcast. So please do what you want to do. I woke Bikram up. Like, I wake up early, but it was still difficult because I just traveled yesterday. So it was difficult. I was still mixing, and then Bikram had to wake up. It's not a time he wakes up, but everybody's doing whatever they can, and to make something like this and to put it out there. So I am really happy Eriksen is fine. I think it's just a wake up call, not for just him, for everybody, that, please don't spend your time doing something you don't like. Just take some chances. It's worth it. All right. So moving on to Group C, which has obviously another soft spot team, which is Netherlands. Austria was expected to win against North Macedonia, even if North Macedonia had beaten Germany once and created a furore. And Ukraine, we expected Ukraine to be strong. And I just want to talk about one thing, unless you want to talk about other things as well, you can do. Now, I think Netherlands played well. They were very attacking. Frank de Boer stuck to his guns, and they were 2-0 up. And then they conceded 2 goals within 5 minutes towards the end. And then they snatched a victory, winning 3-2. And there are a lot of people still talking about they scored 3 goals, but they talk about the mentality and defense. But to be very honest, Ukraine's first goal was unstoppable. When something like that happens, you always get the momentum. Your momentum shifts. So I am not really worried. Right now, I'm thinking, if I'm Netherlands, I don't want to read newspapers. I don't want to hear any stupid critics. I just want to say, I won the first game. This is good. Netherlands has not been even qualifying for Euro, and they may start on the World Cup or something, right? And so this is good start, and Netherlands should take it from there, not worry, and just play attacking. It'll be nice. I love when Netherlands attacks. That's when they're at their best.
Absolutely. I think I couldn't agree with you more. Everyone in Netherlands camp should be happy they won the first match. And to be very honest, in the first half, they should have been 2 or 3-0 up, right? The kind of football they were playing was really amazing. I think they were probably the most entertaining team in round 1. And I think it should give them great confidence. And the goal that Ukraine scored, like the first one, I mean, you're right. I mean, it was unstoppable. It just changes the complexion of the game. But having said that, they had the character and the courage to, score late and win the game. So, yeah, I think good signs for Netherlands. Hope they progress deeper into the tournament.
Yeah, that's what matters, right, at the end. Because I would say just block out everything. Just play your goddamn game. Nothing to lose. Don't even dark horses. I think Netherlands can just release. I really want a different team to win right now. I wouldn't be unhappy if Belgium wins. I just don't want the same horses to win all the time. Even if Italy also wins, because I think they have just, they've been battered. And I just don't want France to win everything and Portugal to come in the final. Now, let's talk about Group E. Have not missed something, right? Oh, I missed somebody. Okay, completely missed Group D. England is there. Like, you don't even care about England. Okay. That's terrible. Sorry, I'll come back to that. So Czech Republic. I think Scotland played very well in that game, but Czech Republic, as you had underestimated, and I definitely remember Russia, and the other one was Czech Republic. They definitely played very well, and as people say, it could have gone anywhere. But then, it's the same problem that Scotland has, which small teams have. They don't have finishers. If you don't have finishers, that you will not win. You will feel like you played very well, which was absolutely true, but it was outplayed by Czech, and they outplayed a very good Scottish team. And what a goal by Sheikh from 49 meters. The curler was fucking believable. I mean, you can't. Some people blame the goalie. I'm just, yes, get out of here, man. It's like surely, and I already think, can't blame the goalie. And surely this is already right up there as the early favorite for the goal of the tournament. Unless now everybody has to beat it to become a better goal. We've seen a couple of other amazing goals as well, but this is right up there. Yeah. And for England, I think they just did enough. It was hot. I think it was around late 20s or something, and it wasn't the most exciting game. People said, oh, England were very good in the first 25 minutes. I was watching. At least I wasn't feeling so excited, but maybe they were dominating. I couldn't feel the energy maybe. And they said English were conserving the energy for July matches. I'm not even sure they're going to play in July. Kane was quiet with a K. I don't know. You just tell me a little bit about these two matches. What was your view and how you viewed it? I did not think England was that great, but I think at the end, victory is a victory, and that will do them very good because there's a lot of talk about them being favourites. If they had screwed up, and this is apparently the first time they won the first match in a big tournament. I think not World Cup, but definitely Euro. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I think I definitely think I mean, Scotland really played well. I still, by the way, have said Czech Republic will finish third and but may not qualify because of the points. But yeah, I mean, see what happens with smaller teams. They have to play 90 minutes plus added time with 110%. Even a slight lapse in concentration, they will be punished. Look at what happened to Hungary. Like till 80 minutes, people were like, "Oh my God!" I mean, we'll talk about that. But if you don't concentrate for full 90 minutes and the added time, and if you're a small team, you will be punished. And you're right. I mean, the Schick's goal has to be, the goal of the tournament. I mean, early days so far, but I think it has to be even at the end of the tournament, it has to be there in the running. And it was just amazing to see that goal. But Scotland did play well. I'm happy. I mean, to me, this week the highlight is going to be England Scotland. I'm really looking forward to that match. There is this, underlying rivalry, and Scottish feel very strongly against the English. So must be really awesome.
I'll have two TVs running. One is Braveheart, the fake Scottish Australian Mel Gibson, who later on became a racist or something happened with him. But yeah, that'll be something. But yeah, it would be fun to watch Scotland perform against England. But what do you think about England?
Coming to England, I think I agree they didn't play well. I really had high hopes from them in terms of, but what happened was, I would kind of give them a benefit of the doubt because there was no Maguire. So what Southgate did was had two defensive midfielders, right? Calvin Phillips and Rice. And that kind of, took away the attacking, mindset and prowess of England. Like you had one less attacking player, in the team. Plus he asked Mount to do a job to, cover the back line. Trippier was playing on the left. I don't know what. Like Shaw must be like, I should retire now. Why did he I would have been on a holiday. Why am I in the squad? It's just crazy. But I mean, it worked out for Southgate. People are saying he's like a genius. He knows the team, blah blah blah. But he was lucky. It worked out for him. England won. Great. Move on. No one will talk about this. But it was bizarre. It was absolutely bizarre.
Completely agree with you because obviously when you're your position and you are and then you get Kieran Trippier to play on the left and he doesn't even play on the left, and then you don't even put Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is like, I should just go to Bahamas. And the other point is like, it worked out that because Calvin Phillips is supposed to be more, as if I'm not wrong, he doesn't play attacking, he's more holding, right? Defensive midfielder. Yeah. And he is the one who was providing, and in the end he was also provided the assist, which actually led to the goal for Sterling. And Sterling also got the goal, which was just like anybody would have scored that time, but now Sterling's confidence will be high as well because everybody's talking that Sterling is not performing. At the end, if you win the match, everybody just says you're a genius. But if they screw up against Scotland, and I really hope something different happens, like a couple of goals, it'll be exciting. So now that we have actually taken care of Group D,
I really want to see Grealish coming on. Like I just hated that Grealish and Sancho together on both the flanks. That would be like mouth-watering.
That'd be interesting. They have to be ready. They have to be like, and they probably want their captain back as well. Otherwise, it'll be a bit difficult. Kane captains them, right? So yeah. But yeah, they definitely want Harry Maguire. Sorry, his name was slipping my mind, so I kept saying captain, but then I realized Kane is the captain. But Kane also needs to perform. All right, so Group E, this one, again, another surprise. Slovakia now beat Poland, but I would say they beat them deservingly, and the red card did not help Poland at all. I have a joke on, as they call them Lewandowski. At least Thomas Müller calls him Lewandowski. I think he was Lewandowski, and he has been in a big tournament. I alluded to it in the first podcast that you said that he will perform. The deal is that the dynamic changes, and Lewandowski is just not the same player. I think he's still a great player. It's just the dynamic changes. In the big tournaments, I've never seen Lewandowski score any goals or any way propel his team. Although Poland is still definitely a better team than Slovakia, but frankly, that day Slovakia deserved to win. This group now, and also what happened with Spain, I think they had like 830 passes right off my head. But it was such a tiki-taka back and forth and did not do anything. The Morata dilemma is right now there because he started, Enrique started with Morata, and now people are like clamoring for Moreno to start next time. And definitely Alejandro Moreno from ESPN is trying to get Moreno to start because of the same last name. Two things I'll say is there's then you can take over. I still feel even if it's a slim chance, there's a slim chance that Spain may miss out. And I feel what has happened the first two matches, this group has really become exciting. Just like as you said for the earlier group, anyone can qualify, anyone can miss out. If Spain screws up something, anybody, because it's a very open game. Poland can still come back because the goal difference is still -1. They still have scored a goal, so they're not out of it yet.
Yeah, I think Slovakia's win has completely opened up the group. And like Spain, what was that about? Like, I mean, I think there was some record, like highest number of passes in a match in a European Championship or something, some record of passes.
Yeah, Jorginho has been training them.
Yeah, and I told you, right, like if Morata leads the line, Spain are not going to go further. I think he's not that out and out killer striker like a Lukaku or a Kane, who will get bags of goals. They have to find. I hope Moreno does well for them if he comes in, but they'll have to find a way to get some goals. I still think Spain will make it through. But yeah, I mean it's anyone's group. Slovakia with 3 points right now, sitting pretty on top. No one expected that. But yeah, let's see. It'll be very interesting. It's difficult to predict who will make out of this group. But yeah, interesting times.
No, definitely right. So let's moving on to our favorite Group F, where anything is possible. I personally think Germany. I could not watch the match. It was late, and I was in a train, so there was no way I was going to get network. And then I listened to people, and I watched the highlights as much as I could see, and I saw the stats as well. I thought Germany played well, but again, I think it was a similar situation as Scotland, that you play well, you play professionally, but then at the end of the day, that you just, again, they still could not replace. People are talking about it right now, like Miroslav Klose or somebody like that, because Werner was supposed to by now become that person, or like a player, like a complete clinical striker, but it's gone backward because of his season last year with Chelsea. But he's still somebody who's like a Morata, like better than Morata. Like he can provide, he can make the amazing runs like Daniel James and give the ball to somebody else. They just don't have that person right now, which will we will find out how much that impacts Germans. But I think I personally feel Germany can still win the next two matches, and I think not just win, I think I would put them as favorite. Plus they're playing in Germany, and they're definitely playing Portugal in Germany again and finished second in the group. Portugal has won the first match 3-0, but I feel the loss does not reflect the truth of the match. Hungary were really good and could have taken the lead in the 75th minute, which was ruled out for offside again, and then rest is history. Portugal scored 3, Ronaldo scored a brace. It was just crazy. And apart from and for France, I think France played professionally. They were that's what you expect from France. That's what you expect from Didier Deschamps. Now everybody talks about Paul Pogba again playing well for France. I mean, just shut the fuck up. I'm just sick of that shit. So and then I think they were professionally expected them, and for them it was even more important than England to win this goddamn game, no matter what. Scraps after scraps, 1-0, own goal as well by the person who's been called back, Mats Hummels. Completely unfortunate, but at the end of the day, when you are the hottest favorite, they were not favorite, they're like hot favorite, you cannot even draw the first game. There's just too much nerves. Now that they won the first match, France can actually go ahead and actually assert themselves in the next few matches. And obviously, a little bit you want to comment on the Rudiger situation, where people are just like, not even talking about it anymore. And Paul Pogba said, yeah, it was just a nibble. We just like love bite. We're just friends. This is what we do. This is the kind of stuff we are into. And they went too far because it's what we do in the bedroom, but he didn't realize it was not the bedroom. So yeah, a lot of questions, but you can take it one by one, and whichever match you want to pick first.
Yeah, let me start with Portugal-Hungary. I think you're right. Portugal were never, were beyond second gear if I may say so, like except for the last 5 minutes. Uh, I mean, I was disappointed with Bruno Fernandes, and yeah, I think more so with him because he was almost absent in the game. He didn't pull strings. Even Ronaldo, I mean, he was more or less like I couldn't see him in the game, and but that's what happens, right? Great players, like you just give them 5 minutes. I mean, they just need 2 minutes of brilliance, and they can win a game. But I think Portugal have a couple of gears more to go up. And I somehow don't agree with you that Germany will win both their matches because I saw the match and France were dominant. I mean, Mbappe was running wild behind the defense. Like they should have scored more. But I think Germany's problem are, of course, more so in the defense. But you're right, on the attacking front, they started with Serge Gnabry, and then I think Timo Werner came on as a substitute. They don't have someone who's like a killer finisher, like right you rightly said, closer. He would always be, the one who carries Germany in big tournaments. They don't have a player who will score lots of goals for them. So I think France should definitely, win the group, top the group. Portugal will finish second, Germany third, and Hungary fourth. That would be, I mean, I would stick with that prediction. And yeah, I think, and I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but there all this controversy around Ronaldo putting away Coca-Cola bottles and Pogba putting away Heineken bottles. There's a big, marketing gurus are like fuming at the players. What the hell are they doing?
Or
And
no, we do. And as you notice, I don't know if you notice, we have another podcast, like every weekly podcast, funniest news of the week. So it is already part of that, and we're gonna just completely milk the whole situation and make it even worse. Like I'll also start endorsing different things to people on this, so you can look forward to this on the weekend if you just get 15 minutes. So yeah, we do that. So yeah, Bikram in fact sent me that last night. I had seen it. And I like how Coca-Cola has dealt with it. Instead of like saying like negative, they're like, okay, fine. At the end, it's just publicity. Like it's not like people don't know Coca-Cola is shit, right? Everybody knows that. So it's like any publicity is good publicity. So now people are talking about Coca-Cola, which does not mean people will drink less. It's like it's in your mind. Suddenly you just think about it. When you're a smoker, you see a cigarette, you just know, oh no, my God, I'm gonna die. No, all the packets, this lungs of people. Even once they put for John Terry, I don't know if you know that scandal on red gold flakes in India. They put John Terry's picture. I don't know if you don't know that. And John Terry found out. I will tell you about this after this thing. I will send you all these things. So I was once, it was long, quickly 1 minute on this thing. It was in 2011. I was walking in my corporate office, big office, and I saw somebody's packet there with red flakes and gold flakes. And I was like, isn't that fucking John Terry, England captain? And I said like, I didn't know this guy. So it was a big office. I was like, can I just see your cigarette? He's like, yeah. So I just picked it up and I'm like, that is bloody John Terry. So I asked Google. Google knows everything. And then Google told me like, this is fucking John Terry, because some moron, in India, they have some 8,000 rupees from somebody in Gujarat, Ahmedabad. They're like, you're the guy who looks for the pictures and put it there. So he's like, oh, put any picture. He's like, this guy looks fine. He fits also the cigarette packet. And then somebody, again, he did not know that his friend from England had come to India and he has seen this thing. He told John that this is what is happening. And then John said, what the hell? He tried to sue these people and then they eventually removed the picture. That's how stupid everything is. If you don't know about this thing, then you might not also know about the other great scandal that in Hong Kong or Singapore they did. Of great player Bastian Schweinsteiger, and they made dolls of him, and which dolls were Nazi dolls, and he was saying Bastian Schweinsteiger dolls, and then Bastian Schweinsteiger sued them and saying like, you idiots, you putting my face on these dolls and these are Nazi dolls, and then they came out from Singapore or wherever, Hong Kong, they're like, no, it is not Bastian, you, it's just a regular German person. It's not you. And then the funny part was, on that right here on the shoulder, it says Bastian. Not only it was his face, it also said Bastian. All right here. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is so bullshit. Oh, we've done podcasts on this thing. This is the funniest events. I will send you both these. It was like, I think you completely missed these two events. It was crazy. Like, you literally have it on the doll Bastian. It's like, no, my name is written here, you idiots. Like, no, it's just, and then the worst part is it's just a regular German person. So like every German is Nazi. It's like you don't even know what you're talking about. So these people lift things from Google.
It reminds me of this slightly different situation where Pierce Brosnan was promoting Pan Parag, and someone told him that he thought he's the mouth freshener, and then he's advertising.
Oh yeah, he did. He thought that, right? Yeah, that's what Shah Rukh Khan and all these Ajay Devgan right now. If you see posters, if you ever come to India, they're selling gutka also. Like he did not know, but he got paid for that. Right? John Terry and all. I mean, you don't want to call Nazi, right? And your dolls are selling to everybody. And kids are buying. Imagine kids are growing up. Bastian. Bastian is a Nazi. So like, how terrible would that be, right? It'll be just completely awful.
I need to read up on this. This is really interesting.
All right. So, yeah, you do. I will send you the links for this. And appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. I know you have to go out right now because the lockdown starts right now. And that's exactly when you want to go out in Toronto, just to make sure you break all the lockdown rules so you can party with your people. And so he's going for a big time rave party in Toronto. So all the drugs will be there except like weed and hash. That's the kind of stuff people do. But everything else will be party. Although he's married, but he's still living the life of a total bachelor. Look at him, the silkiest hair ever. Look at my hair, so terrible. And look at Lal's hair. It's crazy, amazing. So any last word, Paul, from you, that you still feel check any of the teams that who do you feel right now is the favorites apart from France, or any last word that you want to put in before we meet again in few days, because then by the time we will know who has qualified.
I think to me Italy are playing amazingly well, and right now they are the form team, and I'm just itching to watch their games, and yeah, so that to me is the most exciting team of the tournament so far, and looking forward this week. I'm looking forward to England and Scotland, as I said, but yeah, I think next time after round 2 when we meet, I'm sure some of our predictions would have gone haywire, and again we'll be like, oh my
Completely.
God, who will win? So it's a very interesting tournament, and yeah, loving it, and yeah.
All right.
So,
Last word from you. Please give me some hope that Germany will qualify to knockout stages. Please, I request. To the fake Italian pizza lover wants some positivity. I'm a little bit scared, but I did mean what I said, even if you don't agree. But can they qualify? Will they qualify? What do you think?
I think they can. They will get 3 points against Hungary. If they can get a draw against Portugal, then they will qualify. If they don't, then it's going to be difficult. It might come to goal difference, because you never know.
Which will be okay for them. They haven't scored many goals, but yeah, I don't think they'll score many goals. The goal difference will be okay. So
I would love to see them progress. So fingers crossed.
Oh yeah, everybody would, right? Even Bikram. But Bikram has put his house down on Germany. I told him not to do it. Then he put it on Finland because he misread as Finland is Vinland. He said it's a Vinland, so they'll win. And then Finland won. It was just like crazy stuff, and Finland can still win again. So on that note, let's see who qualifies for the next round. We'll be back shortly. And thank you, Paul the Octopus, even if you're wrong few times, but you can also make a comeback like Portugal in the last group, last Euro. They only got 3 points, did not win till semi-finals, and they eventually beat France to win the Euro 2026, which also happened in 2026. So thank you again, Paul, Bhargav, the Octopus, and me, fake Italian pizza lover, and our director, who you cannot see. He's probably fallen asleep right now, but he's still doing a great job. So thank you. Take care. Have a good weekend. If you like to subscribe, you can. And take care. Bye-bye. Thanks, Bhargav. Bye-bye.